Good morning, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another APPNA chat with Naseem. Welcome, Naseem. Assalamu alaikum. How are you today?
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm finding it hard to pick up my energy today, but I'm going to try my best to deliver a really good podcast and make it really interesting and engaging for everyone. I think it's really
Inshallah.
important. Difficult times that we're in right now, and it's hard to stay positive, but I'm going to do my best, inshallah. So yeah, Naseem, let's get straight into it. What's our topic for today?
Okay, so last week we had a question from one of our listeners from the podcast, and this week we've got another question. So I'm really glad the questions are coming in. So it gives you guys a chance to shape our and kind of inform our podcast. So the question we had today was, a couple of days ago, was from Freya from Glasgow, and I'm glad it's a local lass who's
Today,
a
yeah.
Scottish lassie, Freya from Glasgow. She's asking, how do we behave? What kind of questions to ask when we're meeting for the first time, kind of on a one-to-one? So what kind of things they should do, what kind of things they should say, how they should look, how not to be nervous, how to be positive. They just want to have a kind of a rundown of those tips from
Okay,
the expert.
okay, so that's quite a lot of topics. So I'm going to stick to the one, which
Yeah,
is the approach today. Maybe we could do the others on another day because obviously we have a limited amount of time.
of course.
So that's a very good question. And I think people are caught with tradition and maybe guidance from their parents or maybe guidance from their friends, thinking this is what everyone else is doing. But really, the best thing to do is, in my opinion, so you're having a conversation with someone, is just to organically get to know. So make them feel relaxed. Just how's your day going? You know, what's going on with you? And just kind of gradually get to know. So at least 10, 15 minutes of just very relaxed chat, there'll be nerves on your side, on his side. Even if you think you're quite confident, there'll be an element of them. So it's best just to, let them subside. And then I think going into just finding out a little bit more about their lifestyle, what motivates them, what inspires them, and just being very mindful of staying away from tick box questions or questions that's going to make someone kind of hot under the collar and think, oh, I'm not ready to answer that. I don't know this person, but they still might answer it in kind of parrot fashion, but it's not their real answer from the heart. Why? Because they don't know you yet. So in our coaching, we talk about black, white, and grey areas. And I think that a lot of people basically just dismiss somebody that comes in a black area and are happy to continually meet your typical Colgate smile kind of person. I think that's for me, but not allowing those further conversations to actually understand who they are. So that would be like, I think, the kind of key things. How are you finding it when you're going through your discoveries, Naseem, when talking about the black, white, and grey areas and the approach to conversation?
So one of the things I say to my clients, I'll say to them, don't speak about heavy topics. Keep it very light-hearted. Try and make it casual. Talk about, for example, things that everybody has common. Where would you like to go on holiday? Just talk generally about work, but not about work because that's not appropriate. And just keeping it very, very light-hearted, general. And remember, if you feel that you may be feeling confident, but you don't know what that person's feeling, so you can't be asking them personal questions. One of the typical questions people ask are, or we come across is if a person is not married by 35, the other person wants to know at the first meeting, why are you not married at 35? Yes, that's an important question, but it's not a question to be asked at very early meetings. And it's what I would say is try and let the conversation flow naturally. Mm-hmm. Don't come armed with loads and loads of questions. Mm-hmm. Just keep it very light and breezy, as we say, and you'll probably get more out of that meeting. If you kind of be very strict about it, you won't really get much out of it at all.
Yeah, I've got a couple of points I disagree with you then, Naseem. So I just want to be upfront and honest. I wouldn't say that anybody should be asked why they're single. They're single because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't brought somebody forward for them yet, or the people they've met, they've not matched with. So I don't think that anyone out there should be saying to anybody, why are you single? I think it's something that should be definitely discouraged, and they should maybe put that question to themselves and say, why am I still single? Because you're in the same predicament.
Of course.
And going into the conversations, in terms of work, yeah, you can lightly talk about work. I do agree with you that work shouldn't be the main topic because it's not a job interview, right? It is a personal conversation. It's a personal to build communication with a person. But it's going into it deep. It just doesn't serve a purpose because yes, the person's going to know tons of stuff about your work, but they don't necessarily know anything about you. So I think that having that open conversation, saying, no, this is what I do. This is, why I enjoy my job, blah, blah, blah. 2 minutes, I think it's fine. And, you yourself can discourage that person. Just, what about Susie in printing, and what does it matter? Like, who cares about Susie in printing? Do you get me? So it's just the things that are like interesting for you would be, maybe your relationship with your grandparents, or your relationship with your siblings, or, the things that you enjoy doing, or the things that you're passionate about. Will let that person kind of feel your personality and your mindset a bit more, and they will say, oh, I can relate to that, or I can connect to that. And obviously we do a whole exercise on connecting questions as well. So there are some really good resource and support working with us when we do the support sessions, and the gold dust sessions kind of prepare you for meeting a match. But I do think that the kind of excuse me, the kind of questions that we get told that we get when we speak to people initially is, oh yeah, so my parents were asking for me to ask the tick box question, so, and they go straight in with like location and other sort of more important questions. The person doesn't know you from Adam, really. You marrying them is the last thing on their mind, because you haven't even said hello yet. How are they meant to know what decisions they can make with a complete stranger? So when you take stock and think about it, excuse me, it doesn't make any sense to go into those heavy questions in the beginning. But I think as you relax and as the person relax, things come up anyway, I think, organically in the conversation. So they might say, oh, when they start talking about things like, excuse me, my voice is completely going today. I'm not having a good day today, had a fight with my little sister or something. You can tell then they're relaxed a little bit more. They want to let you in their life a little bit more, that kind of thing. So when the formalities go, that's when you can actually figure out a little bit more about that person. But I think creating a good impression, and overall, just to cover some of the other points, it is a Rishta meeting. So, it's really good to be the best version of yourself, whatever you're wearing, and to pay attention to that. And just be a good listener, I think, is a really good tip, to listen more. If you can be the 60% listener and 40% speaker, you'll learn far more about the person that you're talking to as well. Any further comments on that? Naseem, is there anything else you'd like to share on first meetings from your opinion?
Sometimes the clients ask about where is a good place to meet. Is it a person's house, or should they be meeting a public place? What do you think about
that? All depends on the situation. Obviously the main thing for us is, for the safety of the sister, of the female, her safety is paramount. So if you are going out to meet for a coffee, make sure you take, a sibling or a cousin who's sitting, at the back of the restaurant, at the back of the coffee shop, where they can see you. I think that is quite important for females, for sure. And if families are meeting, that's okay too. But I think, the feedback I've had from mums is, oh, I stood all day in the kitchen, I spent all morning shopping, and I never really got to know who the people are, because she's so busy doing the hosting. So if you are going to be doing a meeting at home, then I think just coffee and cake is more than enough. Maybe some finger foods. They think that if a couple is meeting, it's quite difficult to have conversation in front of family as well. And I think sometimes they do allow you to sort of go and sit in the dining room or something for a few minutes, but even then you don't have the same mindset. So I think sometimes meeting outside and just, first of all, making your own decision if you want to present that person to your parents, and then present, because sometimes you meet someone that your parents would absolutely, you just speak to them once and the parents think, oh, this is great, the family's great, but you yourself then feel obliged to take it further because, everyone likes each other, parents likes each other, maybe even the guy likes you, but you're just completely uncertain about what's going on. So I think having that the freedom to have those conversations is really important, because there's a lot. It's a 50-year commitment. There's a lot to talk about, and the days where you speak for 10 minutes and make your marriage decision are long gone. I know that some people still have to do it. It's quite sad. I do hear those conversations that, oh, we had a family come over and the next time I kind of have to say yes. So because I'm so uncertain and I really don't know what to say, I still say no. And some of those encounters could be people that could have really gotten on and actually made a life together. But yeah, so that was quite an interesting one today, Naseem, in terms of, how should a first meeting be approached? And this topic's a long one. You could go on and on about it for quite a number of points that you can cover. But I hope today was helpful. And thank you for everyone that's listening. Please do like and subscribe. You've got the button right below to do that, so you get reminders every week. And again, thank you so much for joining us on APPNA Chat. Assalamu alaikum.
Get the questions in. Jazakallah khair.
Assalamu alaikum. Bye. Hey, assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to say, if you are enjoying the APPNA Chat videos and you'd like to be reminded every single Friday, please do click on the like and subscribe button. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.